Quite a few games have not survived the cold snap this weekend, but we're all set to kick off here at midday. So if you plan to go to one of those other games that's been postponed, whack the heating on, grab a cup of tea and enjoy some FA Cup football here with me, alongside 7-time FA Cup winner Gilly Flaherty.
Hello, Flo. I'm excited for this one. You know, the FA Cup, it was my favourite competition. I absolutely loved it. So I'm hoping for a good game today. It's always the story of the underdog in this competition.
Definitely, as Fulham have played 5 games to get to this stage. They're the lowest ranked side left in the competition, but yet to lose this season in any competition. 16 games unbeaten. London City Lionesses, though, are a team with big ambitions, and they will relish today a chance to showcase themselves here on television and in front of the crowd here at Craven Cottage. Two sides with very different histories. As I said, Fulham were a really big deal in women's football a couple of decades ago, but they're working their way back up. London City Lionesses recently bought by Michelle Kang, who's put a lot of investment in. Let's take a look at the team news then. So Fulham, they're without their top goal scorer today. Sophie Manzi's missing with a serious knee injury. But Ellie Olds and Maddie Parsonson both have 9 goals in the league this season and both scored in the last round to overcome Brentford. Betty Barron-Clark, she anchors the back line. She also captains the women's beach soccer team for England, around playing for Fulham and working. And all of Fulham's squad either work full-time outside of football or are in full-time education. London City Lionesses, then experienced Swedish international Aslani captains the side. A pillar around which we can build. That's how her manager described her when they signed her. And there's a mixture of experience and youth in the defence. Goldie and Brown are both on loan from WSL teams. And Campbell and McCandy Mitchell both played for many years at the top of women's football. Leading the line is Izzy Goodwin. 8 goals so far for her in the Championship. A really exciting prospect. They are going to have a massive performance this afternoon if they're to keep their FA Cup journey going. They have overcome sides above them already on the way to this game. Beat Brentford last time out, but this is a much bigger challenge. London City Lionesses, a team that's 3rd in the Championship, a point off 2nd place and 1st place. Big ambitions to be playing at the top of women's football in the very near future. Our referee, Hannah Gardner. And this is the 3rd time then that Fulham have played here at Craven Cottage, the women's side. Such a great stadium, just nestled next to the Thames.
Between London City Lionesses and Fulham!
Will one of those players come away a hero this afternoon? Both sets of players take the knee, showing their continued support in the battle against racism. No room for racism in football. And London City Lionesses get us underway then in the blue strip, shooting from left to right, up against Fulham in that classic Fulham kit. The hosts, Fulham, unbeaten this season across all competitions. Today facing a side 3 levels above them in London City Lionesses. And Gilly Flaherty alongside me today. A really tough test out there for Fulham.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's going to be a hard game for Fulham, but you know, no one's probably expecting them to come away today with a result. So sometimes you can have that pressure off of you, being the underdog. But at the same time, it's a great opportunity to come up against a team that is quite a few levels above you as well, with the international players that they've got. And it's about catching London City Lionesses. I think you can see straight away they're starting off. They're in a little bit of a block, just trying to ease themselves into the game. And you want to just stay as long as you can in the game as well.
Taya Goldie into Boy Halorka. Finds Brown, slides it through to Jakobsen. Her ball across, and Boy Halorka didn't get that right. Ended up being quite a decent cross. And the first opportunity for Swedish international Asllani, a player you've played against before, Gilly?
Yeah, played against her when she was at Man City. She's obviously a live wire in the box, and she'll be a player that, you know, she's probably going to be one that Fulham will recognise to try and keep quiet. But there's only so much you can do as well when you're coming up against a player like her.
Over 100 caps for Sweden. Another Swedish forward here in Jakobsen. Allowed to go into the box. Her ball across. Fulham do just enough. And Frankie Gibbs clears. Kept alive by Boy Halorka. Goldie out to Brown. Goldie on loan from Arsenal. Brown on loan from Chelsea. Two players that have a bright future in women's football. It's a bit of a poor giveaway though, but kept alive by Brown. Collected by your former teammate Emma McCandy.
I mean, obviously I played with Emma when we was at Arsenal. Had a really good relationship with her. She played left back, I was left side centre back. Another player, if you're looking at driving this team forward and showing her leadership and experience.
Brown into Jakobsen. Mayong back out to Jakobsen. London City dominating the ball as you'd expect in these early exchanges. Cut out by Newman. Out again to Brown. London City fullbacks really keeping the width here. Mayong to deliver. And Tagliavini gets it away, only half away though. Out for the first corner of the game, all London City.
Yeah, it's what you would have expected. Obviously we're only just over 4 minutes into the game, but you would expect London City to dominate this game. But what is important for Fulham is, one, you don't give away silly set pieces and free kicks and corners, but also when you do win the ball, look after it and keep hold of it.
Asllani to deliver. And the goalkeeper Gibbs collecting on the second attempt. Should be relieved to have the ball in her hands there. Looked a little bit nervous.
Yeah, I think it's important as well for Gibbs to get an early touch on the ball, get a bit of confidence as well, holding on to it.
She was the penalty shoot hero versus Maidenhead in the third round. Her clearance though, not the best as Mendes hooks it long. Can Fulham get forward here? Decent looking ball, but spins out for a London City throw-in.
There's a good idea there from Gandhi Morgan, you know, to open it up, to switch to the opposite side. Just a bit too much power
Fulham manager, Steve J, been at the helm since 2018. Spoke about how they've got a rich history in this competition, but they want to create their own history now that they're newly reformed. McCandy into Mayong. It's a nice ball back to McCandy. She'll deliver, and the flick on from Izzy Goodwin off a Fulham player and out for another London City corner.
Yeah, it's a good run in inside there from Emma McCandy, you know, and puts the ball in a dangerous position near the near post. Good defending there though from Fulham.
Corner taken short, back to McCandy. Aslani delivers. And the long range effort from Brougham, out for another London City corner. Lifted in by Aslani, and the header was met well by Goldie, off a Fulham player again, looks like.
It's a good delivery into the box, into a dangerous area. There's loads of Fulham bodies in and around that though. I think the flick on from the Fulham defender there obviously wins another corner for London City.
McCandy to deliver now. And Gibbs punches a little hesitantly again and actually punches the post.
She's a bit frustrated there. It comes into an area where she probably feels like she could have caught that. You know, there was no need to punch it there.
No need to punch the post either. So Emma McCandy to deliver once again. Again tries to put it right on top of the keeper, and Gibbs catches that well. Fulham under a lot of early pressure here. And McCandy will pick that up, finds Mayong. Quite a few players in this side you've played with, Gilly?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Megan Campbell there just done a great switch. Played with her at Liverpool.
And Mendes will knock that out for a throw-in. I hope we get to see one of Megan Campbell's throw-ins this afternoon.
I mean, there's a very good chance. I think you'll see one of them.
38 metres she threw it against England when she played recently in a game for Republic of Ireland. She honestly has such a weapon. Keris Brown, though, is going to take this throw-in. Not as impressive. Jakobsen delivers. Boy Halorka with the header. And again, a good, comfortable save by Gibbs.
Yeah, it just seemed to be a bit more of a hopeful punt into the box there. Boy Halorka's hanging out at the back post. I mean, it's a great driven ball in. Gets a good connection on it. Gibbs does well to get down, claim it.
Really interesting story, London City Lionesses. Independent women's football team, recently acquired by Michelle Kang, South Korean businesswoman that owns NWSL side Washington Spirit, owns Lyon, French side as well. Has put a lot of money in, says that she wants to prove that women's sport can be good business. That ball's cut out and collected by Ellie Olds. Tries to set off Taylor Makepeace, but Goldie will deal with that easily. Very much London City's ambition to play in the Women's Super League, whether it's next season or the season after. And a key person to get them there might be that woman, Aslani.
Yeah, we spoke about, didn't we, obviously off air, about how it should be two teams at least coming up from the Championship, you know, with a team like London City, with the setup that they've got, Michelle Kang obviously wanting to put a lot of money and a lot of backing into them. You want those teams to be exposed to the highest level as well. And there's a lot of other teams down there doing exactly the same. So hopefully that's something that we see progress.
Puihalorka with the long-range effort, takes a deflection and it's spilt by Gibbs, but Mendes will clear only so far as Brown. Mayong hooks it back in. Again, it's cleared, and Taylor Makepeace up against two defenders. He's going to struggle. The Women's Championship, so exciting this season. You've got 4 teams at the top, all within a point of each other. Birmingham City top, Bristol City second, London City Lionesses third. Going to be so interesting to see which side comes up to the WSL and how they fare when they do come up. So hard for those teams that are promoted to compete, but London City Lionesses seem to have the investment, infrastructure needed to compete at the top level. Brown delivers. Tagliavini chests it down and manages to clear. Jakobsen. Off Ellie Olds for another London City corner. Approaching double figures for corners now.
Yeah, and I think with Fulham today, you know, it's all about your individual battles. It's all about you taking care of those 1v1s. Obviously, Jakobsen, we've seen her a lot on this right-hand side with the ball, wanting to beat the defender. Newman's got a big game in her today up against her. And it's just about making sure that you deal with your 1v1s.
In swinging corner. Met really well. Out for another London City corner. Mendes down. The Fulham captain. A whack in the head from Izzy Goodwin. She's a talent as well, Izzy Goodwin. Signed recently, came up through Villa's Academy. Played for Coventry, Sheffield United before London City Lionesses picked her up. 9 goals so far this season, and she's a player that I suspect will be playing in the top flight of women's football, whether it's for London City or another team in the near future.
And I also think when you're signing players like Aslani, like Jakobsen, you know, players who have done a lot in the game, have achieved a lot, it will attract other players to buy in and believe in what you want to do as a club and your ambitions as a club. So if they can continue to attract those players, even if they are older players, it doesn't matter. If you're able to attract the other players, the younger players coming through, you know, and the younger generation of good, talented players, then it's only going to continue to look positive for London City.
Bit of a loose touch from Taya Goldie, and out comes the goalkeeper, Orman. Clears it away there for a moment. Looked like a bit of a rash decision from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I mean, I was just watching her and Taylor Makepeace. I didn't know who was going to get there first out of the both of them, but she does well. She has to be on her toes. High line as well, especially with the way London City are playing out from the back.
London City Lionesses manager, Jocelyn Precheur, was the Paris Saint-Germain manager. Led them to the Champions League semi-finals. So he's a manager with good pedigree in the women's game. Goodwin comes forward, really good play from her. Ball across though, met by a Fulham player. McCandy will bring it down. Won the Women's Super League with Arsenal. Emma McCandy. It's a couple of FA Cups as well. Mayong. Browen plays it out to McCandy. That's cut out well though by Newman. Out for a throw-in. Candy into Goodwin. That's good defence though from Becky Stormer. Doesn't give away the corner. Back to Goldie. Jakobsen now. Running inside. Boyhalorka with space to shoot. Refs played advantage, a good advantage, but now Fulham will try and come away, and that's going to be surely a free kick. And Georgia Burrow might be going in the book here. Referee's keeping her powder dry for now, but Georgia Burrow a little fortunate not to get a yellow there, Gilly.
Yeah, I was going to say I was surprised that she hasn't been given a yellow card. It's a clear obstruction. She's putting her arm back for Fulham being able to have that break and that opportunity, but the ref must be feeling kind today.
Forward from Tagliavini. That's going to go straight out though for a goal kick. Parsonson on your screen there scored a couple of times from a corner, directly from a corner this season. Goldie square to Campbell. This is nice build-up from London City. Boyhalorka. Good-looking ball across, collected though by Gibbs. After a couple of nervous moments at the start, she's looking pretty solid, Gibbs in goal.
Yeah, she's looking a lot more settled now, but you'd be thinking from London City's perspective there, you've got to gamble more bodies forward. Now, if you're getting the ball whipped in across the back line like that, you've got to have bodies jumping into the box. And I think when you're looking at how London City, when they're playing out, they're so high. You've got the centre-backs, the other side of the circle, so you're going to fall to push more bodies forward because Fulham are not bringing anyone up.
Baron Clark with a late challenge. And Mei Yong, who looks to be in a bit of discomfort.
It just seems to be a late one there with her, on her ankle. I think her ankle gets caught in between the Fulham players' legs there.
London City Lionesses manager Jocelyn Precher said recently in an interview, England's the place to be for women's football.
I mean, I agree with that. I've always said this, and I'm not being biased because I've played my career in England, but for me, it's one of the strongest leagues to play in, obviously, with the WSL and the Championship underneath. But, you know, you're looking at the WSL, anyone can beat anyone, and the same for the Championship as well. So it's tight and it's strong, and it's you can see that from the players that are coming over and the players that want to play in both these leagues.
First yellow card then is for a Fulham player, and it's for Betty Baron Clark. Fantastic name, that. Mei Yong up a little gingerly, but will hopefully be able to continue. Fulham so far keeping London City at bay, but looking like they're going to be doing a lot of defending this afternoon.
I think it's hard because there's a lot of difference between the two teams. You know, you're looking at a fully professional team and a team that train a couple of nights a week and they all work either full-time or they're in education. It's hard, you know, but the longer that they can stay in the game 0-0, even if it ends up going 1-0, the longer that you can stay in the game, the more hope you're going to have. It's just making sure that as the game goes on, you don't get deeper and deeper and deeper, and you don't, if there is a goal, open up and let it become a bit of a 2-3, 4-0 so early on. You just got to try and stay in the game for as long as possible.
Yesterday, the game between Manchester United and West Brom. West Brom stayed in the game for quite a while, but as you say, they kind of let the floodgates open right at the end and ended up losing 7-0. London City Lionesses staying in the game currently, though.
It's talking from a London City point of view though as well, when I've been in teams that are higher up and they're playing up against a lower team, it's so hard to break the block. And I think it's one of those ones where, as the game goes on, naturally what London City will be hoping will be that Fulham end up getting tired, you know, and those gaps start to open up, and then that's when you can make the most of those chances, because that's what's going to happen. You know, Fulham just need to stand the game for as long as possible with it.
Cut out by Olds. Offside flag up. Will be a Fulham free kick.
And I don't want to talk about game management now in the 21st minute, but taking your time when you do get set pieces, when the ball does go out, you know, just being a bit clever with it. You don't have to rush, you don't have to restart straight away. It's just about managing the game and managing the moments.
Approaching the midway point of this first half, and it's still 0-0. Into Mei Yong, who looks like she's okay after that heavy challenge. It's a wonderful switch ball to McCandy. Boyhalorka. It's cut out, and now can Fulham come forward? Really good ball forward for Taylor Makepeace, but Keris Brown is back. Teenager on loan from Chelsea. Such a tough job for Taylor Makepeace, the solitary forward up front for Fulham. Have to do a lot of running for very little service. McCandy wins it back well. Aslani tries to cut it back to her international teammate Jakobsen. And that's poor Aslani now! Can't curl it round and in. Fulham escape.
I mean, I didn't know if there's questions that she potentially would have been offside there. But I mean, again, you're looking at when Aslani plays that ball into the box, you've only got Jakobsen there. For me, I'd be saying to Goodwin, stay in the box. You don't need to drop out, you need to stay in the box. And I think you see with Aslani as well on her attempt, she's trying to bend it in to the far corner. Doesn't manage to get as much bend as she would have liked.
Mendes with the throw-in, captain for Fulham this afternoon, has over 120 appearances for the West London side. Goldie with the switch out to McCandy. Boyhalorka caught on her heels. Brown. Some cries of handball from the crowd, but play on. Broham into Boyhalorka. Nice intricate play here from London City. McCandy to deliver, and Boyhalorka is there to tap in and give London City Lionesses the lead. It's been coming. Fulham goalkeeper came, beaten to the ball, and London City have their goal.
And I think what you're noticing as well there with that London City attack is that it was done quickly. There's one or two passes and out to Emma McCandy, who then gets the ball whipped in for Boyhalorka there. I mean, it's a great running finish. It's a late one as well into the box. Gibbs obviously comes for it at full stretch. Just unfortunately misses out on it, but it's a great finish. But that's when London City, that's what they need to do. When they get to the final third, you need to move the ball quickly. It is so easy to drop down to Fulham's level and play at a slow pace. You have to, once you break that press, you have to then go quickly.
Jakobsen wins it back. Chantal Boyhalorka scores in back-to-back games for London City. Scored last time out. Player that had a spell at Villa in the WSL, but unlucky with injuries, but really enjoying her time here at London City. Tagliavini clears it out. Brown into Aslani. Goldie back to Republic of Ireland international Campbell. Brown. A ball across, met by Mendes, out for another London City corner.
Good play there again from London City, obviously out to Brown on the right-hand side, but if you probably saying to her there, just lift it. No, there's no one really making that run across. Fulham in a good position defensively at the near post. Lift the ball up.
Short from McCandy. Broham hooks it towards the back post. Jakobsen across, and Boyhalorka is there again. Couple of yards out to tap it in and give London City their second in quick succession. London City Lionesses now with a 2-goal cushion.
It's hard for Fulham, you know, but again, it's just poor marking really. They completely switch off. She's completely unmarked in the box. It is scrappy. Obviously short corner, only one player reacts to London Lionesses. Obviously the 3 players out there. Then Campbell with the first one on here. Good knockdown here. Campbell goes for it. And then Boyhalorka's just standing there unmarked. It's hard for Fulham. But obviously again, it's composure from London City Lionesses.
Coming forward again, Aslani back into the goal scorer. A lovely bit of tight control. Went for the effort, blocked by Stormer. Ellie Olds fires it forward, looking for Taylor Makepeace. Really good touch from the forward. 2 London City Lioness defenders back though.
I think it's hard for Fulham, you know. They're attacking in isolation, you know, and then you've just got maybe 1 or 2 Fulham players tops going at it, and then you've got 4 or 5 London City Lionesses players around them. It's going to be hard for them to do that. But, you know, you just have to make the most, even if you try and hold onto the ball for a little bit longer to see if you can get some more players join up there with you. But London Lionesses, they're not allowing Fulham any time when they're going forward, which they shouldn't really either.
Just over 2.5 minutes between the 2 London City goals. And that's why they're dominating the game and the scoreline here. And as a former captain yourself, Gilly, if you were captaining Fulham now, what would you say? Would you say, as you just said, try and keep the ball more rather than the kind of quick breaks? They've got some defending to do here now already, though. Brown overruns it, and that's going to go out for a Fulham throw-in.
I think I'd just be saying, like, let's just take care of the ball. It's hard because there is such a difference in level. You've got to understand your level as well and the expectations that are put on you as a team. But it is difficult, and it would just be, while we've got it, London City, they can't do anything with it. So we just have to make sure that we look after it and don't give up. You know, don't give in. Don't let it become one of those games of a 6 or 7. We do our best, we keep fighting, and we stick at it.
Aslani, lovely scoop ball to Jakobsen. Hooks it in to the 18-yard box. Parsonson fires it forward. That's going to go out for a throw-in. And just to give you a sense of the difference in levels between these sides, London City Lionesses is playing the 2nd tier, the Women's Championship. Fulham play in the 5th tier. So, Championship, beneath that is the National League Northern and Southern. We'll come back to that though, because London City are coming forward off Tagliavini and out for a London City corner. So level 3 and level 4 are both regional divisions, and Fulham are in level 5, so London and South East Women's Regional Football Premier Division. So There is a big gap between these sides. Fulham are the lowest ranked side still left in the competition. And with half an hour played, they're 2 goals down. Back to McCandy, allowed to cross. Boyhalorka was there, she's on for a hat-trick, couldn't direct that one in. And a couple of times, Gilly, like here, McCandy's just allowed to cross the ball. Should they be pressing her higher, not allowing the cross?
I think that's just the difference of level, though, and that's probably the difference in detail. They're probably thinking we'll keep more bodies in the box to deal with those balls coming in. But you're looking at the goal, there was 3 London City Lionesses players and there was 1 Fulham defender out there, you know, which that wouldn't happen if you're playing up at the Championship level, the WSL level. But it's just about, do you sacrifice players to go out to try and stop that cross coming in, or do we have more bodies in the box to try and deal with it? It's a tough one, but obviously Fulham have chose to do it that way.
McCandy back to Megan Campbell. Goldie into Aslani, tripped by Baron Clark, already on a yellow card, needs to be careful. And Aslani will have the free kick. Played for AC Milan, Real Madrid. A woman that's done a lot already in women's football. Captain Asani back on the ball, into Jakobsen, Brown. They are fizzing the ball around nicely here, London City. Again out to Jakobsen. Manages to get a toe on it and keep the ball in her possession. That's a really good ball across. Boyhalorka with the header, and she's got a hat-trick. All too easy. Fulham allowed the cross, and Boyhalorka wasn't marked. Allowed to just pick a spot, head it into the back of the net, and London City Lionesses are up by 3 goals to 0.
I think you made the point there, Flo. They was allowed to put the cross in. Now Jakobsen there, it's just completely unmarked. You know, she does really well, Halorka, to pull away from Newman there as the ball's coming in, to give herself that space to be able to direct the header back into the opposite corner. But that's what I say as well in this game. It's all about your 1v1 battles and about priding yourself on that. You know, and as a defender there, Newman, she needs to be touched tight to Halorka there, not allowing her to pull off. And if she does pull off, you have to make it difficult for her. But I think you could tell the moment she scored that second goal, she was wanting that hat-trick.
And she's got that hat-trick. A hat-trick in 8 minutes and 40 seconds for Chantal Boyhalorka. Mendes in field to Gandhi Morgan. Quite a few of these Fulham players as well are from their development pathway. They're young players with much experience. Taylor Makepeace can't keep that in. Really good form in the league. Taylor Makepeace joined from Spurs under 21s in March. Got 6 goals in 5 league games for Fulham, but isn't going to have too many opportunities this afternoon. There's the hat-trick scorer, Boyhalorka. Campbell with the crossfield ball cut out. Well, this time by Newman. Every time Fulham get the ball forward and into the London City half, they get a big cheer from the crowd, but they're going to need to do a little more than that. Mayong into Aslani. Plays into the path of Boy Halorka. Wonderful play, great effort. Gibbs did just enough. Boy Halorka has had her Weetabix this morning. She's up for this, isn't she?
Having another chance there to get her fourth, but it's really good from London City Lionesses. They're going central and then they're going wide really quickly. The space in the outside has really opened up for them. Another great effort, but obviously Gibbs does well to punch the ball away. You'll just be able to see it here. She cuts inside. You know, as soon as she does that, she's got one thing on her mind, and it's a powerful strike. I mean, it is pretty much at Gibbs, but she does well to save it. She'd have been frustrated there probably that she hasn't managed to get four.
Megan Campbell just down getting a bit of treatment. And look at her first goal then.
I think again it's just completely unmarked. You know, again here the second one, she does really well to pull off the defender, and then header goes back across. Great finishes from her.
Did you ever score in an FA Cup, Gilly?
Oh, you're testing me now. My memory is really bad, you know, since I played football. I think it's all the heading that I done. I'm sure that I must have.
You did play centre back, so you're not expected to score, but
Can I just say that one of my seasons at Chelsea, I ended up with like 8 goals. I think I was like 3rd top goal scorer, you know, so hopefully one of them must have been FA Cup.
you do have 7 trophies, so that is right, yeah?
That is correct, yeah.
Or 7 medals. You don't have the FA Cup trophy at home.
Imagine.
Megan Campbell back up on her feet. Played at Liverpool in the Women's Super League for a number of years. And as you'd expect, the FA Cup has been dominated by Women's Super League sides, but this season, with the Championship teams doing really well, do you think we could maybe see a London City in the final or in the semis?
I mean, it all depends on your draw, to be honest with you. I mean, that's what happened when we was at West Ham, is that we had a really good cup run, you know, and I think every time the draw was made, we always got the lowest team aside from ourselves out in it. So sometimes you can get that, and I always believe that the FA Cup is the story of the underdog. I think that's the beauty of the competition. So I think it's great for women's football if you do manage to get a team lower able to get into the final.
Good prize money as well, along each different level. Winning team from today's game gets £54,000. Losing team gets £13,000, so it's decent money. Campbell back on the pitch and looking like she's not in any discomfort. Mayong, great ball out to Jakobsen. Cutback is on, but she goes into the box, and Broham's effort blocked by Tagliavini. Taylor Makepeace, back to Parsonson. Space to run into, McCandy trying to get back. Parsonson with the ball into the box. It's going to be collected by Orman. Was that the right decision there?
I mean, it's hard because I think I was counting the players there. I think that's the first time that like Fulham have had more than 1-2 players across the halfway line. They had 4 there, but again, all the players running away from her. You know, she only really has one option, that's to put it into the box. And it's a difficult one because she's far out from the box too, so probably needed a bit more support to come to her feet and help her.
Campbell to Taya Goldie on loan from Arsenal. Quite the prospect at Arsenal. Wonder if we'll see her playing for the North London side at some point in the near future. Aslani with the push in the back. Under 5 minutes to go till the half-time break then. Boy Halorko scored a hat-trick. Brown to Jakobsen. Out to McCandy. Such a good delivery. Not so there, but it falls for Boy Halorka. Aslani! Strong effort, good save. And Mayong from range, and that's not going to trouble the Fulham goalkeeper.
And it's a good pick out as well from Boy Halorka, because I thought when she cut inside again on her right that she was going to have the shot herself. Sets up Aslani, but again, this effort, very similar to the one before, is that it's pretty much straight at the goalkeeper. Gibbs does well, strong hands to palm it away. But also, I don't think it helps Aslani that the Fulham defenders really go and close her down, so she's not able to really open up. She has to strike it central. But Fulham doing well to hold on.
4 goal contributions in our last 2 games for club and country for Aslani. As Becky Stormer is down. She recently reached 100 appearances for Fulham before Christmas. Been a tough afternoon out there so far for this Fulham defensive unit. And they are missing quite a few players, Fulham, actually. Their current top goal scorer, Sophie Manzi, tore her ACL. They're missing forward Sasha Adamson with an ankle injury. And they've got a cup-tied player, Kaylee Stead. Played for 10 minutes in an earlier round for #United, so she can't play this afternoon. And as half-time approaches, what will Fulham manager Steve Jay be saying to his side?
I think they should be proud of their efforts in this first half. You know, I know obviously looking at the scoreline, they're 3-0 down, but they have defended well in times. But I just, like I said to you, it's all about your individual battles, and it's about making sure that you're switched on, that you're doing your best to get as close to your player as possible and not allowing them the time and the space to pick you off. And it's just about not giving up, really.
McCandy. Graham picks out Boy Halorka. Taylor Makepeace does well against Campbell, but Taylor Goldie is there. Every time Taylor Makepeace gets the ball, she's got 2 defenders on her. It's so difficult as a forward when you're 2 against 1.
I mean, and I think in these games, we talk about the defensive units and the goalkeepers. Oh, they're having a tough afternoon. But for the forward players as well, the midfield as well, midfield get completely bypassed in these games. It sort of goes from defence to forwards and back again. But the forwards are playing in isolation. Makepeace has got the ball, and as soon as she gets the ball within seconds, she's surrounded and she's lost it. So it's a difficult afternoon for everyone involved.
Jakobsen. A ball across, cut out by Baron Clark. Campbell allowed to cross, but blocked by Gandhi Morgan. Brown. Nice interchange on the edge of the box. Brown wants a free kick, she's not going to get it. And then the referee inadvertently blocks a promising Fulham forward move. That's not the kind of luck that they need, Fulham.
I know a few, they might say a few words there to the referee under their breath, but yeah, I mean, obviously it happens in the games like these. You know, referees been in a bit of a difficult position, but Fulham obviously managed to get the ball back.
Minimum of 4 minutes at the end of this first half. Then Izzy Goodwin through on goal, but the flag is up. Not really been too involved, Izzy Goodwin, so far for London City. Everything going through Boy Halorka.
I also feel when when they have got forward London City Lionesses, you know, Goodwin, she doesn't really seem to be seen anywhere. Do you know, I think when Aslani's got a player like Aslani playing behind her who likes to get on the ball and likes to have the possession, but I'd be saying to her, just stay in the box, occupy the 2 centre-backs and you'll get your chances.
She's the current top goal scorer in the Women's Championship, Izzy Goodwin. As Campbell prevents the corner. Not too many Fulham options forward here for the throw. That's a good throw though. Campbell met it. Back to Bo Taylor, who just passes it straight to Missy Goodwin. Jakobsen on the right hand side, good block by Mendes. Really good play from the Fulham captain, and then she wins the free kick.
Yeah, really good defensive block there from Mendes. Just stands her ground really with it. Picks up for the second ball here and obviously wins Fulham a free kick. But that's when Fulham have the ball and they want to go backwards. You know, go forwards. Stay up, be positive with the ball.
Tagliavini fires it forward. Baron Clark trying to pick out Parsonson. Didn't quite get the direction or pace of the ball correct. Goldie with the switch. McCandy's not going to reach that. Again, the ball rolls out for a London City throw-in. Other FA Cup ties in the women's game today. Man City Ipswich kicking off shortly, and looks like Vivian Miedemar is back on the bench for Manchester City. She's been absent quite a while with an ongoing knee issue. McCandy and Boyhalorka combine, as they have done so well in this first half down the left-hand side. Back with Emily Orman, signed in the summer from Chelsea. Looks like she's supplanted Grace Maloney as the #1 goalkeeper. Groham edging forward into Mayong. McCandy cut out well by Stormer. And Taylor Makepeace in her efforts to try and nick it off Campbell has hurt herself.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard again. You've seen her, she wants to be positive and go, but it's just difficult when you're in isolation at the top.
And there is the half-time whistle then. London City Lionesses leading by 3-0. All goals scored by Chantal Boyhalorka. 8 minutes and 40 seconds it took for her to get a hat-trick. She scored in the 25th minute, scored on the 27th, and then on the 33rd minute. Fulham doing a lot of defending. Big cheers from the crowd when they do get the ball forward, but it's been a very one-sided first half here at Craven Cottage. Half-time here, it is Fulham 0, London City Lionesses 3.
It's the first game back after the international, or the winter break, sorry. You know, there's players that it's cold, you know, as well, and you're dominating the game. I think obviously Goldie, for example, at centre-back, has had a lot of touches on the ball. She's been a lot involved in that first half. So it's about just protecting them and giving other players the opportunity now as well to get minutes in your legs.
So Fulham get us back underway then in this second half. They trail London City by 3-0. Golf in quality in that first half, but That's illustrative of the gulf between these two sides in terms of where they are in the football pyramid. Wild back to Campbell. Didn't see one of Campbell's long throw-ins in that first half, Gilly. I'm worried we're not going to get one in this second half.
I think they might be resting her from the throw-ins today.
Maybe she only has a couple of really long ones she can produce a season. Got to save it for the FA Cup final.
I think it might be a bit too cold as well today.
Substitute Wild on the ball. Back to Campbell. McCandy and Boyhill-Orca, those two really productive and good for London City in that first half. Megan Campbell. Overhits that switch ball out for throw-in.
I think you can see as well with London City Lionesses, we saw it in the first half. That's where they're going to get the most joy, is in the wide areas. You know, with Fulham it has been hard, but they're trying to bank up in the middle and make it hard for them to come centrally. But they've had a lot of joy, London City Lionesses, especially in those wide areas.
Fulham's captain Mendes. Fulham playing here at Craven Cottage, the third time this season that they've played at the Cottage. Such a nice ground to come to and to play at, I'd expect. Never played here yourself, Gilly?
No, it's one of the grounds that I never had the opportunity to play at. But it's one that I would have wanted to as well. I think the setup, you know, obviously it's a lot much of a smaller ground compared to some of the other main stadiums, especially in the Premier League. So, yeah, it would have been one that I'd have liked to have played at.
Jakobsen feeds it out to Brown. McCandy. With Menu, the Chinese international. Brown feeds Jakobsen. And the ball across, met by the in-running Rhoda. Couldn't get her effort on target.
That was good play from London City Lionesses as well. Brown finds Jakobsen on the overlap there. I mean, Fulham do really well to get in and around once the ball does come in to the box. Which makes it difficult for Rhoda especially to get real connection on it.
A strong Swedish contingent in the London City Lionesses squad. Aslani, Rhoda and Jakobsen. Shows you how attractive they are as a team, that they can bring in players from all around the globe. And players that have got a lot of experience as well.
And I think that's the beauty of it, especially if you've got players that have played with each other as well in the Swedish national team. You know, players talk, players ask, you know, what's it like to be at this club? What's it like there? What's the facilities like? And I think if you've got someone like Aslani going there and she's able to say to Jakobsen, this is the future of it, it's bright, they've got these visions, you know, you'll be able to attract your mates to go there as well.
I believe Aslani and Jakobsen are only a couple of years older than you, Gilly. Could you be attracted back into the game?
I think it's too long now. It's too long now, Flo. My knees seize up, especially in this cold weather now, so I've got no chance. I think it's vets football for me, if anything.
You're only 33, aren't you, Gilly?
I know, but I've been retired now 2 years. That's probably equivalent to about 10.
Fulham move breaks down. Emma McCandy, another experienced player, back to Megan Campbell. And they've got a good blend, London City, of experienced internationals, but also young and up-and-coming players. Spoke about Izzy Goodwin, who hasn't really been that involved so far in the game, but she's a real prospect.
I think it's important to have the mix of experience and youth, you know, because sometimes if you have too much youth, you know, they don't have them figures to guide them, especially as the leagues get tougher and the matches get harder and there's a lot more investments into other teams. So being able to have the mix, I think, is beneficial.
That's not great play from Fulham, and Aslani can't quite keep it in. Fulham making a change. And looks like Isabel Taylor-Makepeace is going to come off. She's very strapped up on both legs.
Isabel Taylor-Makepeace.
I suspect she'll be getting ice on
And coming on, number 7.
both those knees as Tia Foreman comes on. A defensive player, Tia Foreman, so I wonder if Parsonson or Olds will now go in a more attacking position. That player up top by themselves. Boy-Halorka wins it back. Menu with the switch ball out to Jakobsen, who was offside anyway.
I think it's always hard as well when a substitute comes on and they're going into a different position, you know, more of a defensive one. It's just a bit of a reshuffle. It's always those couple of minutes afterwards where it's a little bit unstable and everyone's a little bit all over the place. So hopefully this also gives Fulham a bit of time to get sorted too.
Gandhi Morgan hooks it forward, out for a throw-in though. Decent turnout here at the FA Cup for this game. Spoke to the Fulham press officer early in the week. He said that they'd sold around 800 tickets. There's a few more than that in the stands here. It's bitterly cold as well. That's a nice looking ball for Aslani. Out comes the goalkeeper. Doesn't get the ball. Penalty, and actually looks like she might be in a bit of trouble here, Gibbs. On comes the physio. This really doesn't look good for Gibbs. His brave goalkeeping came out to try and sweep that away, ran straight into Aslani. And the Fulham #2 goalkeeper getting ready for if she's needed.
I think it'd be interesting as well to see there how much connection Gibbs gets on Aslani and whether there's much connection in regards to the ball as well. But obviously first and foremost you want to hope that Gibbs is okay.
So Fulham will face a penalty after this. Whether Gibbs will be in goal for that, we shall see. Appears to be awake and talking, so that is a positive sign. Had a lot to do in that first half, Frankie Gibbs. Not much she could do about Chantal Boy-Halorka's hat-trick though. Perfect hat-trick, left foot, right foot header. You ever scored one of those, Julie?
Can I just say, I know you're laughing, but I actually did, you know. When I played for Arsenal reserves, I think it might have actually been against Fulham reserves, I actually did score this hat-trick. It was the perfect one. It was only, I think, in the last goal, I think that was the header. I think one of my players tried to nick it off me, but it wasn't, it was mine. So I did actually score one.
Wow, name and shame the player that tried to steal it off you.
I can't do that. I couldn't do that on live on air, but no, and I remember it because obviously, like you said earlier on, I don't really score many goals, so it was a moment that I'll always remember.
Yeah, and I think this moment, this hat-trick for Shanta Boyhalorka will be memorable for her as well at Craven Cottage in the FA Cup. A nice moment for her. If you're just joining us, pause and play here as Fulham goalkeeper came rushing out to try and close the ball down as Asllani was running through and collided with the knee of the Swedish forward, and looks like she might have been knocked out. And that initial collision seems to be up and talking now, so hopefully she'll be okay to continue. It is a penalty though for London City. They have to be so careful with concussion. And there is Amber Webb then, the second choice goalkeeper for Fulham. Ready to come on. I suspect she wasn't expecting to be coming on this afternoon. She joined from London Bees at the start of the season. And if she does come on, first thing she'll face is a penalty. Back up on her feet then, Gibbs. And you'd hope the decision for whether she should continue will be with the physio and not her.
It's really hard, you know, because when it comes to head injuries especially, and I'm talking from my experience, I got clattered many a time and I wanted to continue to play, and that's what most footballers want to do. They want to continue to carry on, but sometimes especially you have to leave it to the physio and the doctors to overrule a player, because like I said, 9 times out of 10 a player's going to say I want to continue, especially in this FA Cup game. She's now going to be facing the penalty. You want to step up, but players' health is a priority.
Here is the replay from that incident then. Didn't look good initially, did it? But it looks like she might be continuing, Gibbs. Young referee, Hannah Gardner. Fulham might be about to make another different change though. So I think Gibbs will continue. And can she save from the spot kick?
And I also don't think Gibbs realised it was a penalty either, because I think when she gets up, she sort of then wants to have a disagreement with the referee about what it is.
Feels a bit harsh trying to score a penalty pass there now. I'm sure Asllani won't be worried about that. Won the penalty, and she will take the penalty. Asllani from the spot and makes it London City 4, Fulham 0. Good penalty, Gilly.
And I think it's also hard for Asllani because there's been such a long break in play as well, to then have to switch back on, and obviously you're coming up against the goalkeeper that's had the issue and had the injury, and it's about getting focused again and doing what you need to do, and that's putting the ball in the back of the net, which she does so calmly.
Yeah, that was a really smooth penalty. Here is the situation which she won the penalty from. So Fulham trail by 4-0. It was always going to be a challenge and looking like a step too far at this stage of the FA Cup for 5th tier Fulham. Anna Gardner, the referee, just jogging over to Gibbs, who I think is going to have to come off. Oh, and she looks emotional there as well. It's so disappointing for her. It's such a big game for her. And she's going to have to come off. Does provide the chance, though,
Coming off number 1, Frankie Gibbs.
for Amber Webber to come on. So there is that change.
Coming on number 13, Amber Webber.
Amber Webber in goal then. And that's hard, isn't it, coming on as a goalkeeper in this kind of situation?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, I think she probably would be more glad to be coming on now, though, than coming on to face the penalty. But I think from Gibbs's point of view, of course, it's upsetting and it's frustrating and it's gutting for her because of the occasion. But, you know, you have to be safe, especially when it comes to head injuries.
Coming off number 11, Maddie Parsonson.
Maddie Parsonson also coming off. She's replaced
Coming on number
by
11,
Georgia Heisman.
Coming off number 22, Betty Barron-Clark.
Heisman, 11 goals, 9 assists in the league.
And coming on number 19, Lily Stevens.
Can she nick a goal? As Barron-Clark comes off and Stevens replaces her. And the ambition for Fulham now, the target for Fulham will be to not concede too many more and maybe nick a goal, Gilly.
Yeah, I mean, obviously to try and keep the score as respectable as possible. And yeah, if you can even start creating something, you know, obviously they haven't created anything in this game, but to be able to, if you can potentially come away with a goal, that would be momentous for the team. So yeah, I think it's just about staying focused and pushing on. Really, you know, the game's dead and buried in that sense, but it's about making sure that you try and keep the score as low as possible.
And those Fulham fans that have come here this afternoon, they've been very supportive and enthusiastic every time Fulham have come forward. They would have known that their side were probably going to lose today, but they've been behind their team. Cut out by Mendes. Back with Wild. She goes all the way back to Campbell. They did beat opposition in the tier above last time out, Fulham. 2-1 win against Brentford to get to this stage. They won't be in the hat for the next round, though. Boyhalorka, the player with the hat-trick in the first half. Undoubtedly London City's best player today. Boyhalorka. Lovely little back heel from Aslani. And Izzy Goodwin applies the finish for the 5th. Really nice goal. Well worked, finished off by the Championship's top goal scorer, Izzy Goodwin.
Yeah, that was very, very clever play there from Aslani. Beautiful little back heel to set Goodwin up again. Boyhalorka's been involved in everything today. But again, Aslani with a back heel. Goodwin just shows strength to push off the defender and calmly passes it into the back of the net.
A 10th goal in all competitions for her. Just held the defender at bay and then coolly slotted past Webber and goal. McCandy. Back to Campbell. I don't think Webber, the goalkeeper that's come on for Fulham, has had a touch yet before conceding that one. Menu. "25 minutes remaining. Asani takes the ball in the half turn. Spreads it out to Brown. Inside to Jakobsen. And London City win the corner.
And I also think this is the period now between now and obviously full time where it's going to be most difficult for Fulham, because naturally they are going to get tired, and London City Lionesses, their fitness level now should take over, because obviously that is the difference between the two sides, one being obviously professional, the other team being in full-time employment and education. This is when you'll notice the difference in the latter stages.
Back with McCandy. Puts in a teasing delivery. Stormer getting there ahead of Goodwin. And Mendes dinks it forward. That's a good ball out from Mendes. Jakobsen out on this left-hand side this time. Good dynamic run from her. And Halorka with the volley that's blocked. Met that really well. Hooked in and all the way through to Webber.
And London City Lionesses is just looking dangerous really every time they are going forward. They're still looking to add more numbers to the goal tally already. Fulham just, it's tough. You know, you just got to try and cling on and stay in it.
Also difficult for Fulham as well. They were unbeaten coming into this, 16 games in all competitions, doing really well in their league. It's such a different dynamic to be the team that's the massive underdog.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tale of two sort of games in a sense. Obviously, they're dominating in the league, and then you come up against the opposition here.
As London City come forward again, Brown. Ball across is cut out by Mendes, the captain, who clears.
But you're also hoping as well that now Fulham are able to take this into their league as well. They've experienced what it's like to come up against a championship team. They know the level that they want to get to. So hopefully they'll be able to then take that when they come up against the team in their league.
McCandy finds Jakobsen, and confirmation as well that change for Fulham, the goalkeeping substitution, was a concussion one. This is flicked towards Goodwin, can't pluck that out the air, and it's through to the substitute goalkeeper Webber.
You see again here, very direct. Goodwin making the run off the back shoulder, the defender trying to pick it up, but Webber comes out, obviously gets an all-important touch in it and gets her hands on the ball.
And in terms of the next round, Julie, if you're London City Lionesses, I think it's safe to assume that they will be in the hat for the next round. Would you want to draw a lower ranked side or a side in the Championship, or would you want to draw a big WSL team?
No, I'd pick a lower ranked side, because for me I'd want to have the lowest game really in all the rounds, so that we had a good chance of getting to the FA Cup final.
Easy catch by Webber. They've got big ambitions, London City Lionesses, of playing in the WSL. That was the target set by their new owner, Michelle Kang, to be in the WSL as soon as possible. Nearly fell there for Ellie Olds. Coolly done by Campbell. Aslani. Good turn of pace. Roder out to Wild. Halorka just effortlessly brings that into her step. Pass inaccurate though. And they have looked a class above London City today. 20 minutes remaining then. McCandy slides it through to Jakobsen. She'll fancy running at the defender. Oh, and tried to slide it back for Boyhalorka, cut out by Mendes. One thing that will be very interesting to see in terms of the growth of London City Lionesses, they've got the investment. They've also got the infrastructure. They're playing at Hayes Lane now, share that with Bromley men's side. But they have to build a new fan base because they are a new team, only founded 2019. They don't have a men's side, they don't have that kind of history. That's a challenge for them, Gilly.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, London City Lionesses, they're not far away from where I've lived for the past, I'd say 10 to 12 years maybe. So in that area, obviously, that their nearest team would be closest to Charlton. But aside from that, if you're looking more like the Kent way, there isn't really anyone there. So it's a crowd or community to get access to, but it's just about bringing in those faces, you know, putting bums on seats at games and attracting the local community as well in coming down to watch the team.
Winning games, though, getting to the top flight, doing well in the FA Cup, that's all things that will bring in fans as well. As three players look ready to come on for London City. Stani delivers, cleared at the near post. Newman puts it in the channel. And it will roll out. McCandy trying to take the quick throw. Looks like she's actually going to be coming off. Perhaps trying to prevent her substitution by taking the throw early.
London City Lionesses substitution off number 22, Trace Brown.
So off comes Brown. Grace Neville replacing her.
Off number 3, Emma McCandy.
And as we suspected, Emma McCandy's day is over.
Off number 30,
Imi ran on to replace her, and the hat-trick hero Chantal Boyhalorka makes way as well. I think she'll probably be disappointed to come off. She looked very on it today. Could have had a fourth. Got the perfect hat-trick though, and she'll be going home with the match ball.
I think she'll be glad that she just managed to get that hat-trick as well before coming off. I know I've played with a fair few forwards who have been sitting on 2 goals and then get substituted before they're able to get the all-important third.
And replacing her, Lucy Fitzgerald, a member of London City Lionesses' inaugural squad, over 100 appearances. As London City come forward again. Rhoda wins it back. The ball all the way through to Webber in goal.
I think Mendes as well for Fulham has had a really good game today. You know, it's been difficult. She's played in the full-back position where she's switching a little bit with Newman, but she's had Jakobsen running at her for majority of the game and just defensively been really solid. So it's important as well for players, especially who are playing at the lower level, to get this exposure as well, because you're looking at it, not saying that anyone wants to leave, but it's a shop window opportunity as well to show what you can do against better opposition.
Brought down by Goodwin. Got out well again by Mendes, as if on cue, Gilly.
I want some commission if she manages to get a move there.
That's good play there from Fulham. It was Ellie Olds, but just took it a step too far. Scored in the last 2 FA Cup games, Ellie Olds. Hasn't got a sniff at goal this afternoon. Stormer hooks it away. in all competitions so far in this season. Fulham have scored 73 goals and only conceded 10. Well, they've conceded 5 this afternoon. Up against a team 3 levels above. Imran slides it into Rodat. Good goalkeeping from Webber.
Yeah, really good goalkeeping there to get down. The players oncoming as well, the opposite way into the box, to be brave, to get down and to get your hands on it too. Again, London City Lionesses is still pushing for a 6th, but Webber doing really well there.
Out for a Fulham throw-in. Captain Mendes will trot over to take. And that's surely a foul throw. Not given. Advantage for London City, so we play on. That nutmeg cheered loudly by the Fulham fans. Ball up looking for Heisman. Orman playing a little with fire there, but managed to get it out to Wild. Forward come London City. Good pressure from Fulham. Tagliavini back to Webber. Really good ball out actually from Webber. Touchdown by Heismans to Olds, couldn't quite get it under control. Can Fulham in this final part of the game get an effort on goal? Give their fans something to cheer about. Imran. Pacey player looking to run at her defender, still in possession. Back to Menu. Aslani, who's really dictated the pace of this game. With Imran. And Tagliavini will clear.
It's hard for Fulham as well because you've got substitutes coming on. For London City Lionesses have got a bit more energy as well now, and they're trying to get a goal and they're seeing that there's going to be opportunities there for them.
Fulham's goalkeeper Gibbs, who had to come off because of concussion, sitting in the stands there with a hot water bottle. It's very much hot water bottle weather. Quite a few of the Women's FA Cup and the Men's FA Cup games postponed due to frozen pitches. As Ellie Olds tries to pace away past the London City defender.
I think Fulham fans have done well this game as well, considering the conditions and how freezing it is. You know, for them, every time Fulham have got the ball and gone forward or done something, you can hear them cheering, you can hear them loudly still. They've pushed Fulham all the way till the end as well.
Campbell into Aslani. They've really used the full width of the pitch well, London City. With Fulham dropping so deep, it's a smaller area in which to play, but by using the width, they've created the space to get the ball in between the Fulham deep block. Campbell takes the throw in quickly. 10 minutes remaining then.
Last 10 minutes.
Sounds like the man in the stadium heard me. Last 10 minutes for Fulham to maybe try and foray forward. They won't want to give up any more goals though, so it's a balance, isn't it? Imran latches onto that, flicks it past Stormer and comes forward. Tries to cut it back for Aslani. Good idea from the Nigerian international. Looked really quick since coming on. Out for a Fulham goal kick.
Yeah, it's really clever play there from Imran, you know, to flick the ball over the top of the Fulham defender, coming out full speed. Just does really well there to skip past. But now it's about making those decisions, you know, and picking out the players.
Megan Campbell in field, out to Imran again. Aslani trying the little flick, doesn't quite come off. Just overrun by Foreman. Imran again will want to run at her defender, this time runs in field. Fitzgerald. Blue shirts in the box towards Jakobsen, and Stormer just in time getting a touch on that to prevent what would have been an effort on goal from Jakobsen.
Yeah, it's a great all-important touch here from Stormer. Don't think she's got a clue that Jakobsen is behind her, but if she doesn't get that, that's going to fall straight to Jakobsen, who's going to have the time and the space, which you would expect her to then finish from that distance as well.
Neville with plenty of space to run into, up against Mendes. Races to the byline, Neville, her ball across, blocked by Tagliavini. And Olds hits it forward. Aslani's ball cut out. And forward comes Newman. Pick out a pass. There's been a couple of times when the Fulham forwards have picked it up, gone a good marauding run, but then haven't been able to pick out a player. They don't have enough players around them.
No, a lot of the time they're just going in isolation. You know, they might have one player up there with them, but you're coming up against one, you've got one player supporting you, and you're coming up against probably 4 or 5 London City players. So it's difficult. I think you're seeing as well, Fulham, they've got tired legs. Doesn't help with the decision making and the quality as well when going forward.
Collected by Rhoda. Imran racing into the penalty area. Stormer again with the interception, the crucial block. We'll be back to league action for Fulham after this. They're third in their division. As Webber manages to clear. They have played 5 games fewer than those above them, and should they win those, they will be top of their league, and they'll be favourites to progress out of their league and into the 4th tier. They were at one point, Fulham women, one of the best women's side in all of England a couple of decades ago. The club, though, had its funding retracted, were disbanded. They were revived 2014, and they're trying to work their way back up the pyramid ever since. This FA Cup run has been exciting for them, but coming to an end here this afternoon was always going to be a step too far, really. And some more defending to do. Good interchange into Menu in the box. Olds is back to give away the corner.
I think Fulham, though, can be proud of today. You know, it would have been a big ask for them to get a result, obviously against London City, but they can be proud. You know, they can't fault their effort. They've attacked in isolation because of the hand they've been dealt with and just how the difference in level between the two teams. But they haven't given up and they've kept going.
Aslani delivers. Webber catches well on the second attempt. Fair play to Webber since coming on. She's looked pretty decent in goal. Made a couple of claims, a couple of saves. Hard coming on cold in the second half as a goalkeeper always.
Yeah, it is, and especially you're coming in this occasion as well in the FA Cup against a team obviously ranked higher than you as well. So it's difficult for any goalkeeper, but again, you're seeing her there come through bodies, the confidence to come through and to claim it as well.
Allman claims that, been more of a spectator. The London City goalkeeper, really. Imran. Infield to Fitzgerald. Rhoda thought about the diagonal switch. Back with Campbell. Fitzgerald, lovely ball left by Aslani. And the ball across to no one, really. Imran plays at the back post, asking for it. Was that an effort on goal or a cross? Out for a goal kick anyway.
I'm going to say that I think that was an effort on goal, to be honest with you. I think she see it opened up and thought she'd have a strike, and unfortunately it just doesn't dip in time for her.
Fulham substitution coming off number 47.
More Fulham changes then. Bo Taylor coming off.
And coming on number 38, Melly Filer.
And May Filer, one of the academy players, coming on for Fulham right at the end.
And coming on number 37, Sophia Roberts.
And Sophia Roberts on as well for Ella Newman. Roberts, another player in the development pathway. Olds on the halfway line. Jakobsen racing back to win the ball. And London City Lionesses, for all their good attacking play, they've been defensively very strong and also working very hard, not giving Fulham an inch.
And I think it is difficult when you're coming up against a side that is ranked lower than you. You know, there's this expectation that you need to dominate from minute one and it should be a high-scoring game. So I think defenders especially know that and aware of that, and you can't give the opposition any sniff of goal or any chance because you want to be coming away from here with a clean sheet.
Aslani. Ball across, blocked for a corner. A minimum of 7 at the end of the 90. I suspect that's a lot to do with the long stoppage when Fulham's goalkeeper Gibbs was down with what looked like concussion. That doesn't look like the ball's on the quadrant there, Gilly. That'd be a pedant, but there we go. Another corner.
We should be on VAR instead.
No VAR in the Women's FA Cup or the Women's Super League. For better or worse?
That's another topic for another day, I think, Flo.
Can have a long conversation about that. Not needed this afternoon, though, really. No massively contentious decisions. In from Aslani. Imran. It's opened up for her, shoots from range, off the bar. That would have been a spectacular goal from Imran. Ball comes in again, out for another corner. I tell you what, Amber Webber in goal for London City, for Fulham even. Just watch that.
Yeah, I think as soon as you see Imran here get the ball, I mean, completely unmarked, no one around her. It's big distance as well. You can see what she wants to do, and I think you're right. I think Webb just stands there and just has a little look to her left-hand side, thankful for the post.
Struck that really well in Imran. Might have another chance here. Racing back is Heisman, does get the effort off, and Webber spills it, but collects it on the second attempt.
I think the Fulham defender there does really well just to put Imran off because she wants to open up. And obviously it is a bit of a distance as well there.
Imran back to snuff out the danger before Heisman could latch onto that. London City relentless, coming forward again. Wild square to Campbell. Spreads it out to Imran. Looked really good since coming on. Still going. The ball across finds Goodwin. It's back to Aslani. And the free kick goes Fulham's way. London City wanting a penalty there. But Hannah Gardner, our referee, giving the free kick to Fulham.
I think Aslani's eyes open up then because I think she thought she had to have a great opportunity to get another goal, but obviously we're just able to see here then. I mean, for me, it looked like it should have gone the other way because Goodwin gets the connection. The Fulham defender goes down. I don't think she makes any contact with the ball at all.
She didn't appear to make too much contact with Goodwin either, though, to her credit. Fulham perhaps a little fortunate there.
He probably could have just played on there, referee.
Stormer cuts it out. Aslani loses that. Megan Campbell has been so calm at the back for London City every time it's come her way. Had a lot of touches as well, dictating the play. Lovely from Aslani. Slides in Imran. Blocked again by Stormer. Loses though, and here comes Imran again. Ball across one by Tagliavini. Heisman loses out to Wild. Becky Stormer, number 8 for Fulham, a player that's made quite a few crucial blocks in this game, Gilly.
Yeah, I think she's had a good game as well. I think it's hard for any defender to come up against forwards that, you know, that they're of a different level to you. But yeah, I think Stormer's grown into the game as well. The longer it's gone on, but she's been solid for me at the back.
Ellie Olds taking the ball for a jog up into the London City half and then trying to get the fans up as well. get some noise going. Final minute then. Campbell touches it nicely with the outside of her boot. Crisp diagonal pass. Jakobsen latches onto it. Goes from range, didn't quite curl her foot around that as she'd have liked.
I think there you see obviously Jakobsen driving inside into the central area. She'll probably feel a little bit disappointed that she's not really created much to get on the score sheet as well today. She's been really busy in the wide areas and getting involved in goals, but probably hoping there that she'd be able to get on the score sheet too.
Campbell to Aslani. And there is the full-time whistle then. The lowest ranked side, Fulham, are out of the Women's FA Cup. London City Lionesses progress to the next round. Chantal Boyhalorka with a first half hat-trick to get things going, a perfect hat-trick. Left foot, right foot header. In the second half, London City Lionesses continue to dominate the play. Aslani scored from the penalty spot after winning a penalty. Fulham goalkeeper Gibbs having to come off after a clash with Aslani, which gave that penalty away. And then Izzy Goodwin getting on the score sheet for London City's 5th. Overall, a pretty resounding victory for London City Lionesses. Full-time, Fulham 0, London City 5.
Thank you once again for joining us on another historic afternoon of women's football at Craven Cottage. We look forward to seeing you again soon.